Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back to my channel. And as you can see, we're going to be doing some more work on the Boho Journal. I'd like to decorate some more of these journaling cards that are made from the masterboard. I've still got another masterboard to cut up, so there's loads more can be done. But I thought I would start by showing you these. I think I'd like to decorate at least one of these up. Now, I don't know if you saw a recent mass make by Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah. I like to watch her mass makes. I don't very often do them myself, but I like to get some ideas because I really enjoy her mass makes. And on this occasion, I really thought they were a really good idea because it's a way to use up your 6x6 papers, most of which, I don't know about you, but most of my 6x6 papers are single-sided. So they're quite difficult to fold into pockets and things because you've always got that white side to show, and then you've got to think about covering that up. So I find it quite difficult to use the 6x6 papers. But this one, these are little pen holders that she made, and you use a single 6x6 sheet, use pretty well the whole thing up, and there's no sign of any white background. So I thought these were a really great idea. And I just got my 6x6 pads out, and I did actually make a whole bunch of them the other afternoon, and it was really fun to do. And they're just a nice little thing to pop in. They're on a paper clip, so you just clip them onto a page. So I thought I'd do one. These were two that I picked out that would go, both of which will go into my journal. I think both of these papers were from a paper pad called Cedar something. So I'll get it out in a moment. It'll come to me. Cedar Lane, I think it's called. It's quite an old one. I've had it for years. But I've never been able to use many of the papers, so I thought this was perfect. I thought I might quickly just make one to show you in case you missed her video. I will link it in the description box below so you can watch her video, and because she goes through it several times. I'm just going to make one just to show you how it's done and how easy it is. So I'll just set these aside, and then we'll come back and decorate one of those, I think, and then go on to decorate some more of these things too. So I've got here a single sheet of 6x6 paper from a pad that I had. I've got so many pads, and I use them when I can. You know, they're quite good for punching things, punching out shapes and things. But I thought this was a really nice idea. So you just fold your sheet in half, and this one is quite a fairly thin paper pad, you know, thin paper. Some of the paper pads are so thick they're actually been quite difficult. I've had to really burnish them quite hard with my bone folder because they've been quite thick papers. But this one's a bit thinner, so it's a little bit easier. So you fold it in half vertically like that, and then you open it out and then fold one corner almost into the middle like that. You've got a single corner, and then you fold the rest of that strip also almost into the middle, so that you don't quite hit the actual middle, so it will still fold like that. So easy, much easier with this thinner paper too, I have to say. Okay, then on the other side you fold the whole of that side again into the middle. Now I find it quite difficult to see that middle line once this is folded, so I'm inclined to just open that out again so I can see what I'm doing. So if you can see, there's the middle line, and then you just fold this again almost into the middle, just making sure you don't hit the middle, so it actually will fold up again afterwards. Open that out and just fold in that final little corner in the same way. So there we have. So you've got this piece folded in and this piece folded in like that, and that bit folded there. And then what Tina did, she just cut off this extra piece because you don't need it, and it just adds to bulk, which you definitely don't need. So just cut it down that fold line, or just inside the fold, so you're making sure it doesn't hit the middle. And you've got this odd piece left. Just cut off that top piece because you want to use the the remaining strip and just trim it down a touch, get rid of that little foldy bit that's still attached, and then that will pop in here. And then all you do is glue down your two little flaps. So I'll get my glue. So get some glue onto here. And fold that in. Make sure it's lying straight. I'll just do with a piece of dry tissue. Make sure that's all glued down and any excess glue has squeezed out. And then the same on this little corner piece. Then you fold that down and glue it. Now before you fold in the rest, so you just fold it in either way, either that way like that, or the other way, doesn't really matter. You want to just do your inside piece. So what you need for this, you need your paper clip and your spare piece of paper. So just pop the paper clip on with the long side on the inside, in the middle, like that. Now Tina, of course, as she always does, used her hot glue to make sure that the paper clip was well truly secured inside that paper. But I don't really like using the hot glue gun. It's not particularly, I don't find it particularly easy to use, so I don't use it. So I use the Fabri-Tac as well, which can also be a bit temperamental, but once you get it going, it's quite good. I just put a nice big dollop of the glue all over the paper clip. So the Fabri-Tac will hold it in place, but then it'll hold the paper to it as well. Kind of going all over the back of the paper clip itself, and then all over the back of the paper. So just line that up to the top and glue that down nice and firmly. And then all we'll have to do is fold in this side and glue it down. I think that's the way I'm going to do it, yep. So you just want a little bit of glue only around the edge. On the inner one, whichever one you put on the inside, you only glue around the edge. So down this side, try and do it straight, which I'm not, and across the bottom. Because of course that's where the pen is going to go down. Okay. And then the other one, also glue along the side. This time you want it to stick down to this one completely. So just have a line of glue there, bit of glue all over, and stick it down. There you have your little pen holder. which you just need to let dry. And then you can decorate it, which is what I'm going to do now with this one. I think this is the one I like because it's got the two colours in it. I could do this one, but then this one might go into any other journal because it's plain, so I might decorate them both and decide wherever I'll put it, which one will go best. But I think today we'll just do the one. And I quite like the idea of putting one of my Mucha ladies down the middle if I can. These are quite tricky to decorate because they're so very narrow. But I've got a few of these narrow. I think I had to print these extra small to make them come out this small. And it's just finding one that does have the right colours in it, really. Obviously, I'm not sure I'll get to use this one because she's got a lot of pink. This is quite a nice one. She's got quite a bit of green, but I'm not sure that's the right colour. She could work. I'm just going to, perhaps I just need to cut them down a little bit. Some of them have this sort of inner frame, and that might make sense to cut round one that does that, because that means it won't, it'll be just a little bit narrower. So I think colour-wise she's not bad, but she does take up an awful lot of room, and I wouldn't mind putting a bit of lace behind, I think. So I think the two that I've got are in this little inner shape is this one and this one. I have a feeling this one might be the best one to use. Let's see. I know they're not strictly speaking bohemian, but it's my journal, my rules. I use the things that I like. That I think these are lovely, and they've got lovely colours. So I could put her down there, but I just need to put, so she's got just the perfect colours to go with the background, I think. Could almost use this piece on its own another time. Anyway, not on here. Okay, so I think I need some lace. I'm just trying to decide what colour. Or maybe not just lace, maybe I'll use a little bit of a little feather behind her. Maybe. I'll find a small one. Is that colour too much? Just if I've got anything small enough. A little one. Let's see if that would, don't know if that would work or not. She may not be big enough to quite to work on here. I could cut it down a little bit, I suppose. Not sure about that. I think I'd have to cut it down anyway. I'll just have a look and see what lace I've got. Right, so let's have a look and see what I've got in my box. I'm thinking maybe this. I don't know whether to go more for the turquoise or have a bit of a contrast behind there. So I've got that one. Let's see which one looks best, shall we? I've got this lovely coral coloured lace. So a bit too much, I think. More like that. I've got that. Not sure. Or I've got, which of these two? I think this one might look quite nice. Upside down. So I've got that piece like that. So it just covers up the join as well, which I think works quite well. I'll just trim it to there. Let's see. It goes on there like that. I have one other thought. Something a bit quieter, a bit lighter. I could go for something, perhaps a cream lace. If I can find one that I think would work. This is quite a nice one. Take this off again. Try that one. Really rather like this. Don't even know when I got this. Okay, I think I like that better. Just not sure if I need something behind her completely, just to sort of really highlight her a little bit. And this little piece drifted out of my feather bag, and I thought, well, that little piece might just be what I need, just a little something. Get it to stay, to lie down. It's just a little wafty piece. Okay, I think I'm going to just trim this off. I think what I might do, hang on, let's get the length right, and then I'll tell you what I'm thinking I might do. Okay, let's just cut this down. I thought I might cut it down the middle, have one piece either side of her. I'm going to try it, rather than having it all over one side. So a piece just there, and another piece there. Not sure if this is going to work or not. It may look a bit odd in the middle. Let me try something else. This is getting ridiculous. I'm taking far too long over this. I know that. No, not that piece. Right, I think I might just cut these down. Put that one down there. See if I can make this work. I think I'm going to have to ink around it. Right. There. And a little tuft of a feather underneath. I think we'll call that done. Okay. So while I'm just gluing this down, I do have some news finally about our house move. We have now sold our house, got a completed chain, and we've put an offer in which has been accepted on a house in a village. We certainly hadn't planned on moving to a village when we first set out on this journey, which seems so long ago. But it was actually only, well, not quite 3 months ago when we first decided to go ahead and look for somewhere to move to. So yeah, that's just peeking out that little bit. I didn't want too much. I think that's okay. So yeah, we are moving. It's all been agreed, and it's happened. Happened really fast in the end. Rather took us by surprise. So yeah. Now I suppose the real hard work will begin, getting ready to actually move. I mean, we've done a bit, but I think there's going to be a lot more to do, lots more clearing and tidying, and I'm probably going to have to do a bit of clearing out of my craft room. Try and cull it down a bit if I can. But yeah, I'll have a new craft room. I'm not sure it'll be as big as this room, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, so that's one option for my pen holder. I may decorate the other one. Well, I will decorate the other one differently. Not sure how yet. So let's move on and do one of my journal cards. And this is the first one. And as it's a journal card, I think I'm going to start by doing the corners. Let me just check the size of this baby, because it's quite large, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches that way. So I suppose this is the sort of thing I could put behind a belly band. Just thinking how I would use it, because it won't go into a pocket because it's too wide. I'm just wondering whether to make it a little smaller. I might just trim it down just a little bit, because I think it's going to be... How big are my pockets? Let's see, the ones I've made so far let's have a look at the ones that come with the kit. So I think that might be a pocket already. So this is one of the kit pockets, and it's pretty much the same size, isn't it? So yeah, just a tad over 5 inches. So I think if I cut this down, I've got the option of it going into a pocket or a side or a tuck or something like that. So I might just trim it down a little bit. That's it, to take it by surprise. It's quite thick. Okay, because this was backed onto if you remember, onto some 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, which is quite a thick one. It makes this nice and sturdy, but I'll have to back it some more. I mean, you could write on that, but it's not very nice. It doesn't, and the colour's not right. So I will have to back it onto something. Not sure what at the moment. Probably just some coffee dye paper or some other. Right, let's have a think about what I'm going to put on here. I feel like doing some sort of, I say some collaging, but it's obviously been collaged quite a bit already. Let's just have a look at some of my lovely ladies. I've used these images already quite a bit, haven't I? Well, on the other two, but this is slightly different. It's a slightly bigger one, and I have reduced these down and printed them again, so I've got them on in a smaller format, just because that way I've got more options as to how I use them. So I've got these in all sorts of different sizes. What I tend to do, I use Publisher is what I do. I use to reformat my images, just because I've been using it for years, and it does come with Office 365. You could also do it in Word, I think, because I can't seem to make my printer software doesn't seem to allow me to do interesting things and change the sizes, so I just do it in another program. But I'm sure there's lots of different ways of doing it. These are actually too small, apart from that one. Maybe it's time to use her scissors. She's actually in both the kits I'm using. So this is Bohemian Days by Mrs. Cog. But I've also got a kit from Adamo Prints, and it has this lady on it as well. So she really ought to be making an appearance in this journal, didn't she, one way or another? Because she seems to appear many times. She's very, very glamorous looking. I don't know if this is the right size. I seem to have got her in many sizes. Very small and quite large. But is this the right size? Now, I really want to use some of my fabrics to back onto. I've used that quite a bit already, haven't I? Yes, I don't want to use something that will actually take away from the image. Like this one might be just too much. I think. Maybe a piece of that would work. What have I used previously? Let me just check. I don't want to have them all looking the same, do I? I did use that one and the other. So I've got to use something different, I think. There's a piece of this purple which might be rather good. I don't know. I will try and make my voice not go quite so quiet. I noticed when I was editing my last videos, or my last couple of videos, that when I'm starting to think about what I'm going to use, I've realised I get quieter and quieter and quieter, which can't be very helpful when you're trying to listen to what I'm saying. So I will try not to do that. I will try to keep my voice going when I'm thinking aloud, which is what you're doing really, isn't it? You're thinking aloud when you're trying to decide what you're going to be using. This may be too big, but I just thought I'd see how it looks. I rather like that actually, because you've got that little bit of sort of warmer colour in there. I think I'll just trim it down a bit. I just have to be aware that if it's going in a pocket, that's the only thing I have to remember, that, don't I? That if it does have to go in a pocket, this is actually quite bulky. These are quite bulky, aren't they, these stones? I'm wondering whether I should take them off. Be a bit radical, I know, but I could always put something else on there instead. Like a sequin perhaps would be better, something small like that. or a smaller stone. These are just really bulky. I have got some small gemstones that might work possibly better. Shall we try? I know this might feel like sacrilege to start. Just got to find a sharpener, pair of scissors, yeah, to start taking these things off. But I think, well, that wasn't too hard. I think actually they are a bit dull. I mean, in that the sparkle has kind of gone a bit dull. I suppose that's because they're old. I don't know. I don't know how old these are. But I think they are just too bulky. We can use something that's not quite as fat on here. Let's see, shall we? Right. Slightly mad, but actually I don't think it's harmed it too much. And then we'll just put a little one of these. One of these little ones can go in the middle, and I think that will look okay. I'm going to use a little tiny blob of Fabri-Tac for that, and that will also stop any unravelling of any of the threads if I've caught any of the threads. There we go. Now let's see. So I think that is going to be a bit less bulky. Now to put her, do I tuck her underneath? I'll just slightly put her over the top. I think, you know, is she straight? I think she's straight. I'm going to just do her corners, because I like the corners to be rounded on these images. Right. Now, put my fabrics and my laces out of the way. I want to see if there's anything else I can add behind. I'd like to put on some sort of, or behind her, some sort of ticket. This looks like a genuine old ticket actually, and that's the right sort of colour. Let's just pull out a few tickets that might work in this, the right colour scheme. I'm so bad at using things like this. I really want to use them a bit more. And it's the same with labels. I never think to use labels, and I really like them when other people do use them. I just never think to get them out myself. So I'm going to try and do a few labels. Let's see what I can find. I did print a few onto some rice paper. Don't know, maybe it's a possibility. The other thing I'd like is to add some, perhaps a word or a number. Got lots of words that are going the wrong way. I'd like something going downwards, but maybe I've got enough things going vertically on here. Maybe I need to have something going across here. Maybe something like that. Hopeful. It's too dark. This is quite a nice one. I can I can just colour it a bit. This is Seek Stillness. That seems to be quite a nice to put there. Maybe I'll do that, but I'll just ink it a bit because it's a bit, just gently. It's a bit bright. Right, so I've got all my little bits and pieces here. I don't know if I'll use them all. I've got a number as well that I thought I might pop on there. So first of all, I think I'm just going to glue this down. I'm going to need the Fabri-Tac for this. Put this on. And then I'm not quite sure yet which of the other things I'm going to use. No, the other way around. The other way around. Just tucks under the image a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to have her there. Now, oh, I've got sticky fingers. Right, so I think I'll put this ticket, just because I think it needs a bit of this colour over this side. And she's going to she's seeking stillness, I think. There. I did wonder about adding one of these. I've got this purple daisy from this trim, this multicoloured trim, and it's got the orange centre, which would be quite good. Turn the right way around. I think it is. It's just got a thread and he's snipping. I don't know whether I could put that on here. But it would look better down here. Pop that there maybe. Put that. Yep, I think I definitely want to put a ticket here. It's got the number on that side. I like the torn effect though. Yeah, I'll put it that side. No, I was going to put the torn bit like that. That's it. Torn bit there. There. Just want to get these bits in the right place. Okay. Now she needs to go on. I think I might have to use the Fabri-Tac for her because she's going on to the purple fabric, isn't she? And maybe a bit of the lace. She's on there. Oh, is she straight though? Not quite. There we are, that's a bit better. Right, now, do I put this little, because I quite like the purple and orange because it brings across this colour, makes it more part of the thing. I don't have a problem with bringing in purple into this. I think there's room for other colours. I don't think I'll bring in pink, but I think purple may work. Well, it's working for me anyway. And I've just got to make sure that the Seek Stillness still works somewhere here. Where do I put that? Up there, and have the Seek Stillness down here. Maybe that's what I'll do, I think. I don't know why. I just feel that works better down below. Okay, can go there. My little flower. Just try and decide which way round this is meant to go. Just trimming off a little tiny blue bit there. It might be where it was attached to another one to get rid of. Right, let's glue him down. Okay, that's going on here like that. And I've just got this number which I thought might just complete the look up in the corner here. Quite like that, that just fills that corner. I do plan to sew around all the things that I'm making at the moment, I just haven't got around to it. Partly because I'm probably going to want to change the thread. So I've got to work myself up to doing that. I changed it so I could do the things for Liz's journal. I had to change the thread for that. I think it was that I changed. No, it wasn't for that. It was for the snippet roll. I used a lighter, creamier coloured thread, but I actually want to use a brown for these. So I've got to change it back again and the bobbin. So I'll get around to it and I'll sew them at some point. I might as well just keep decorating and do them all at once, mightn't I? Okay, I'm just going to pop that there. So that's that one. So this is using some things I don't use very often. I've got a number and a ticket and a little word label. I don't use those things very often, but I always like it when other people do, so I was determined I was going to try and use some of those things, and I do like the way that's turned out. It's a bit different. Right, I've got one more that I'd like to do, which I'm going to try and squeeze in. So I've prepared it a little bit. So this is the one. It's going to be another journal card. So yet again, I shall want to round the corners. Oh, this is thick. What have I got in the back? Oh yeah, that pink again. So I'm going to have to do something about the other side, aren't I? I probably should have done it before I decorated, but oh well, too late now. Oh, okay, so that one may, because it's going to go, I think it's going to have to go that way. No, I wanted it to go that way, didn't I? Okay, well I'll do this corner. I'm not sure I'm going to manage to do this corner in the little trimming machine. I have to do that with my scissors, I think. Just so it matches. I hadn't really haven't really thought about that because it's got the lace around the right on that corner, hasn't it? So it's not going to go in the trimmer. It's not really going to show that it's rounded or not, but I'm just going to just cut a little bit off just to give that impression. Now I've had a quick look through my images and I've chosen this one because I think she's really lovely, very innocent looking. So she's going to get a corners rounded. I think I'll use the smaller one for this. So there'll be more of a gentle rounding, I suppose. So that's not rounded, it's kind of, I don't know why it does that. It gives it a lovely, strange, weird shape. I just have to make sure I put this in the right way round, I guess. Not fabulous, that's not quite right. Better, I think. Right, let's get rid of these bits. So I want that there. No, I want it this way. I want it this way. She's going on here like this. I'm going to put this doily behind her, like that. And I want to do a ruffly trim along this side with this seam binding. But I'm going to ruffle it up and then I'll see how it looks when I've done all that. So this one, that'll go on this. That's all right. Just check how that looks. Yep. I'd have to. I don't really want to have to trim that edge off. That's the pretty bit, isn't it? The little curly edge. So I'll put that there. She can go across there. Actually, I want to bring that down a bit. Oh, it's too high. Better? Yeah, I like that better. All right. Then she can go on there, like that, I think. Okay, I'm going to use my tacky glue because she's a bigger piece. It'll be easier to get plenty of glue on. That's her. Where's my bit of tissue? There it is. I've got to be careful when I'm using the tissue. It just makes it slide a little bit. It have to be straight. Right, now the plan is to go down this side and ruffle up this piece of seam binding. I'm going to try it. If it doesn't work, I'll have to cover it up or something with something else. Now, what was I going to use? I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac. And let's just see how it goes. I'm going to do a bead of the Fabri-Tac up the side here. Hope it works. I haven't tried doing this before. This is something that Tina does all the time to great effect, and I love what she does with when she's ruffling. She uses her hot glue gun, of course, but I do love the effect, so I'm going to give it a try. Put that there, and you just have to sort of squidge it. Maybe I'll do it. I think the Fabri-Tac will work in a similar way to the hot glue, so I hope it does. It's just a case of squidging and try not to get it everywhere. It's quite tricky because it's so sticky. Oop. Didn't do a great job down here. Well, it's kind of ruffly, it's not fabulous. But yeah, just a soft ruffle down the side, I quite like that. I'm just wondering, put a little bit more across here. Might just do that. Just a little bit across here. I've got a bit left. Come on. It's sticking to me, not the paper. Okay, let's give that, let's push that down a little bit. Right. Hopefully it'll look a bit better when it's dry, but maybe I'll have to add a few little pearls or something just to disguise any bits where the colour's coming, where the glue is coming through. Right. I've got this little sticker, this little word sticker, which I thought I might just tuck under there like that. It says pretty. This is one of the Gico word labels. Had them a while. I use them quite a bit. I think there's some sticker paper. Just going to add a little bit extra glue just to make sure it sticks down, because it's got to stick to the lace behind there. And I'm just going to pop it behind there. That's it. Okay. It's another little journal card. I like that actually. Trim this off a little bit here. It's sticking out just a bit too much. Right, so should we have a look, see what we've done today? Get these out of the way. So we've done her and her, and we've done our pen holder, which I think looks okay. Yeah, she's quite pretty too. And this is just the pen holder we made, just an example. So that's it for today. Didn't seem to get much done as usual, but I had loads of fun with all my lovely fabrics again and all the pretty bits and pieces. I just wanted these to start to look a little bit different to the other ones I did, so I think I've done that a bit. Okay, so thank you for joining me today, and do join me again for the next one. We may be working in this, maybe working in something else, haven't quite decided yet. Bye for now.